The bones of the body, they have bumps, speed bumps. When you look at a tissue under the microscope, you just be like, what am I seeing? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kosi. I do med school videos. So if you are new here, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and if you're a returning subscriber, share my video. Come on now, let me reach 500 subscribers. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about preclinicals, sorry, what? And you know, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and everything, like my experience and stuff, like how it was for
5 hours of standing and stress.
Of how stressful that it was.
You are here?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad that they cancelled histo?
I'm very glad. In fact, I am very privileged. And if you're a medical student, med lab student, radiography student, nursing student, physiotherapy students, we all did these things, and you will know how hard it was, or it is for you if you're doing it now. So guys, make sure to stay tuned and comment your own experience if you're a student of one of these courses, so that we have a chit chat in the comment section. So the clinicals is the year after first year, that and before clinical, that's before you start your hospital postings. In University of Nigeria, my school, it runs for 18 months, so it spans like your second year and your third year. We do 3 courses. I know if you're not a medical student, you'll be like 3 courses, just 3 courses, and people are always complaining. My dear, anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry is not just. There's nothing just or only about that. It is very, very bulky. It is very, very, anatomy alone has like 3 babies under it. You have gross anatomy, you have embryology, you have histology. Okay, these 3 courses are gross.
When I want to explain it, my head will be headache me. Yeah.
Gross alone will drive you crazy. Then you get physiology, then you get biochemistry. So I'm going to talk about like the study of the human body, the muscle, the tissue, the bones, everything, development. Embryology is the study of the development, the embryo and stuff, you know, fetal development. Then histology, study of tissues, like microscopic, you know, view of all of it. Then gross anatomy, study of like the organs of the body, what you can see, the ones you can see, the bones, like, yes, all of that. So I'm just going to start with gross. Gross anatomy is very, very bulky. And the way you knew things before you started studying, that's not the way you have to be calling it. Before I entered anatomy, before I started reading anatomy, everything here was hand. Then I now got into anatomy, they told me that this one is hand, this one is arm, then this one is forearm. If I tell you this one is forearm, this one is dorsal.
Help me, help me, help me, help me! If they carry me, they go where I don't know.
You have to know where this one is passing through. You have to know where this nerve is passing through, whether it's running left or right to this bone, whether this one is up to now. I'm still confused whether it's the left phrenic abivagus nerve that touches the lungs, and if it's the right one. I don't even know. You need to know where everything in the body is. You need to know the length, the weight of this organ, so many things, and then the bones. Jesus Christ. The bones of the body, they have bumps, speed bumps. They even call it again. No. Some are indentations, some are like bumps, you know, like ridges. That you have to know the names. They have special names. And one thing with anatomy, these names are not like English names. They're like derived from Latin or Greek. Thank God for YouTube, honestly speaking, because studying anatomy, like, God. When it was time for my second MEBS exam, I had to go borrow bones, be able to see some things, because when your viva comes, they are going to give you bone, and you are going to need to identify what this thing that pointing at is. What, and if they now give you skull, no one really talks about skull. That skull, isiga, Jesus Christ, it has so many holes. It's called foramen. I remember this one. And you have to know the name. You have to know the exact location. You have to know what is passing through the.
When I want to explain it, my head will be headache me. Yeah.
Guys, enough of gross anatomy. It's taking so much time. Let me go to embryology. Guys, embryology. Hey, Jesus. Embryology, you need to know weeks. You know, you need to know when the liver is developing, when it decides to develop, when it's developing, when it has finished developing, whether it's developing cranially, that is upwards, or caudally, that is downwards. You need to know where that liver is developing from, like where it is, the name of the thing that is developing from, how it is developing. Embryology is wild. It is wild. I think I prefer gross to embryology, because embryology, you just be like, what is this?
Oh my God!
And then you need to learn the clinical correlates, like If it doesn't develop well, what's it called? If it doesn't develop at all, like congenital abnormalities that come now. Embryology is wild. I'm not even talking about this at length because I want to make this YouTube video short. But guys, histology, when they bring that tissue under the microscope for you, what you will see there, everything will just be the same. Everything will just be red. Just be seeing red dots with white dots. Everything, even if you check online, you see everything is just confusing. Then some of them will not have lumen, like kind of like a space in the middle. Some will be like this. Jesus Christ. When you look at a tissue under the microscope, you just be like, what am I seeing? And then in our school, you have to draw it like there's like kind of like a histology book where you have to draw what you're seeing. And I'm like, and like when we started, we were like, what are we supposed to draw? More histology. If you see what we used to do in that lab, God, oh. Anatomy is very, very crazy. Anatomy is very, very bulky. My advice to you is start early to read your anatomy. Just every day, just read something or watch videos. Watch videos if you can't read, because I think with videos so many things will stick to your head, because that's how I remembered a lot of things. Let us go to physiology. So physio is another bulky one. It has so many segments or sectors under it. You see endocrinology, you see reproduction, you see CVS, you see respiratory, you see renals. Physiology is just study of the basic processes in the human body and how to regulate those processes, hormones and all of that. So I think one thing with physio, to passing physio whatever, is understanding it. The whole feedback thing, if it gets off, there's a regulation to bring it down and stuff like that. The segment that I enjoyed most in physio was Jesus, I don't even know. But my worst was, you see renals, countercurrent mechanism. I didn't enjoy renals. I didn't enjoy respiratory physio at all. Like without the exam part, I think I prefer anatomy to physiology. There's a lot of story to physiology, and when you're writing your exams, you have to tell that story. If they tell you to write about the transport of oxygen, babes, sis, bruv, anybody watching this, you have to tell the whole story of oxygen. You have to tell everything. You cannot just write only on the transport of oxygen. I don't know if your school does that, but that's how like UNEC does. The next one, of course, is biochemistry. Biochemistry is the study of the chemicals in the body, the biological chemicals, protein, carbohydrate, fats, all of that. Fats, lipids, sorry, it's not called fats, it's called lipids, and all of that, vitamins, everything in the body. So first is just like kind of like the foundation, knowing structures of carbohydrates, and that one is not even like the main thing. The main thing is the second part of biochemistry, which is metabolism. Guys, when we entered second year, everybody was shaking. People are going for tutorial, even paid tutorials, so that they will be able to understand metabolism easily. I know go create. And I'm not really the lecture type, I'm not going to lie. Cause we were a lot, I'll be staying at the back and I won't even be hearing whatever the lecturer is saying. So I can say that I read it on my own. Then I watched a lot of videos on YouTube too to help me understand. I enjoyed metab. Those that had already passed our stage, one of them was like, don't worry, don't let this metab thing stress you. Don't let it put any fear in you. That's what I'm actually telling you now. Don't let it stress you. Don't be afraid that you cannot do it, because honestly you can't. Now for a lot of people, their favorite part of metab would be maybe carbohydrate metab or protein metab or lipid metab. But my favorite was actually purine and pyrimidine metab. I understood it so well. And one thing with metab also is it's just like this, you're understanding it. Because I remember when our MBA exam came, the question we got in purine metab was not exactly a textbook question per se. You have to understand purine, the metabolism, to be able to understand, to answer that question very, very well, because it was not what we were expecting. Biochemistry, all in all, I preferred biochemistry to physiology and anatomy because, I don't know, I just enjoyed it. And biochemistry, when I mean biochemistry, please, I mean medical biochemistry. It's not like the biochemistry that people that actually study biochemistry in universities. It's not the same thing. Clinicals is a lot. The advice I would give to you is to start early to read. Don't be like me. I had so much anxiety during my second MBS exam, and that is story for another day. Even if you can't read, especially like if you're at home now during this nonsense ASU strike and you can't read, because honestly I can't even read while at home and I need to read for the next MB that I'm facing. If you can't read, just try as much as possible to be watching videos, and I think videos really go a long way in preclinical classes, because There's so many things that I was able to answer in that my second MB business exam hall because of the videos that I watched. Thank you God for Ninja Nerd, because that guy, because I remember my biochem, they asked me DNA replication at the beginning one, all these DNA questions, and I remember not really revising it. Do you know how I answered that question was from what Ninja Nerd said? Because like, as whenever I'm listening to Ninja Nerd, I kind of jot things down, then compare it with the material I have from my lecturer, and then I was just remembering splicing, so many different things. I was just putting, I don't even know what I know. I shall know that in that particular question I didn't get 0 because I wrote something. Attend lectures if you can. I feel like lectures actually help. Don't be like me. Be a very serious student. Anyway, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, which I think you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. I beg now, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Comment on what next you want me to do, and I'm going to do it. And tell me about your experiences in preclinicals. Tell me your own experience, and let's just chat in the comment section. So of course, like I said, make sure to comment and do the next. Make sure to subscribe and share to your friends. I'll see you guys in my next video. Yeah.